fun.
Hello, I am Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be talking about the 5th year anniversary Godfest that debuts tomorrow. So, not only is Pancake super excited by my sexy new outfit, but this Godfest is a significant improvement from the Candy Cornucopia Godfest we had only like 10, 12 days ago or something. So, my mom just took a look at my outfit as well, which is unusual. Regardless, the 5-year anniversary Godfest is obviously featuring the theme of 5. We have 5 times rates for all of the Godfest exclusives. However, there are more Godfest exclusives featured this time than there were in the previous Godfest. Like, there's more per day. There's 33 per day. So I think there's a couple more by comparison to the last one. But regardless of that, this Godfest will occur with plus 30 to all rolls, so plus 10 to each stat, as well as having the No Silver Carnival occurring alongside of it. So one of the big problems of the Candy Cornucopia Godfest was the fact that there was no meaningful carnival. It was basically just like you get 2 times Wise Dragons and 2 times of something. But regardless, it's like there was no real collateral benefit. It was just kind of like you're praying for those Godfest exclusives and not much else because there's no Pantheons featured. So while this event does not feature Pantheons, at least with the chance of no silvers occurring, like there's no silvers you can roll, the base form of silver cards cannot be obtained, so the rolling rates have been like kind of stealthily improved, so to speak. Now, this article will be obviously going over the rankings for all the cards, as well as a brief overview of Cammy and Red Dude. So, here are the lineup at a glance. So basically, we have 33 Godfest exclusives featured every single day. There are some that occur on both days. So for instance, the Odins are featured both day 1 and day 2. But obviously some cards like Paimon, for instance, are only featured on day 1. So obviously if they're not featured in day 2 or day 1, that means you won't actually be able to acquire them. So basically I use an S through D ranking system, and basically Nay is a little old now. I just included here in case you want to read a bit more about her. Cammy, I did talk about her in the previous video. I just basically left the exact same things I said last time, but now we've had a little bit more time to see how Cammy actually plays out. So Cammy is similar to Yogg in that she requires you to be above 80% health in order to trigger your maximum multiplier. So obviously, once you are above 80% health and you match Wood and Dark Orbs, you do explosive amounts of damage, things die very quickly, and you have a very good time. And obviously, this makes her very well suited for shorter content, because with shorter content, you're able to like kind of plan out your active skill management much more efficiently, because if you have 5 floors, you have 6 actives, you can budget accordingly, and you know exactly when to use actives and sweep every floor. So she can be very viable for Short and Cosmic Trinity or any shorter challenging dungeons. Now, she is definitely still capable of clearing longer content, but it's just a little less favorable compared to other options, but you still can. Now, one interesting aspect about Cammy is that she has a follow-up attack, and she's currently, there will be in the future more, but the only dark card with follow-up attack awakening. So this is going to make a big difference, because now your dark teams have a nice option or a way to deal with resolve spawns, as well as the fact that she can be utilized across various teams. Now, the only downside of her compared to Yogg is that her base active is significantly weaker, but is on a 5-turn cooldown, so it's much easier to inherit over, but it makes her a little less desirable as a sub for that reason. And as a leader, you have 2 follow-up attacks, so you're losing out a lot of awakenings to have the follow-up attacks, and 2 is not necessary, so it's just a little bit of a downside, but she's still an incredibly powerful leader, and she can clear tons of content very fast and very efficiently. She can utilize a lot of cards that may not have had a chance to be used beforehand, just because she utilizes a different, basically, matching requirement compared to other things out there. So, obviously that's one of the more exciting cards to get, and she is ranked S tier, which makes sense. The next is the Red Dude, or Dude S, I can't tell, but they are 5-star Godfest exclusive, and they're the only card in the game, I believe, that provides 3 turns of haste, which is very significant because it allows you to recycle through various active skills. Unfortunately, they come with a 20-turn cooldown, so it's not really possible to just use them for active skill cycling. You might as well just bring an active instead. But the problem with them is that their collateral benefit is plus 300% orb movement time, which is kind of pointless as a collateral benefit. You want an orb changer or board changer. And options like Mori Montanari and Mitsunari give you 2 turns of haste, but they give you a kill board. They make you either a buy or a tri-elemental board. And those are able to basically kill the respective floors for your team, as well as give you haste to cycle your actives. And they're a much shorter cooldown. So this card here is just too long. It's not doing enough for you. Like, maybe if you had a great board changer alongside of it, yes, you could justify the longer cooldown because it's giving you the board that kills something, as well as the fact that You have the haste alongside it. But unfortunately, the collateral benefit is weaker. So now we need to look at them as a leader because they're not such a great sub now or an inherit because it's not feasible because of the long cooldown. And they do have an interesting mechanic because they have no Skyfalls and a combination of rainbow activation and board matching for their multiplier. So you only need to match 4 out of 5 colors, so that's definitely very doable from almost any given board. So that's easy to achieve. And if you have 5 or less orbs remaining after matching, you basically have those two stack up and you get 400 times for dual leaders. That's an incredibly high multiplier, and you may think, well, leaving 5 or less orbs can be challenging while having colors, but a given board has 7 to 8 combos, and obviously when you match those 7 to 8 combos, 7 combos is 21, 8 combos is 24 orbs, so you need to obviously get higher. You're thinking, well, this is going to be hard, but the thing is, you can connect more orbs. You make them sets of 4, sets of 5, and that will allow you to have less orbs remaining. In fact, you don't even need to hit any high number of combos. You just need to connect as many orbs as possible to have as little left over. So in theory, you could make 4 combos of the 4 colors and just make sure all of them are all connected and make big blobs essentially, and if you have less than 5 orbs remaining, you actually trigger your multiplier. So that is an option to consider when using them as a leader, but unfortunately this just makes them a very average glass cannon. Like, you hit very hard, but what's the point of hitting hard if you can't actually take a hit? It's not going to be that effective overall, unfortunately. So they are a B rank. Now we go to my Pantheon tier list. I have a bit of reshuffling. It's mostly at the top. It's easier to manage things at the top. Like, it's just easier. So basically I moved Tachibana and Nohime up from S to S+. Facet, Kushinadahime, and Haku have been demoted down from S+ into S. And Nene goes from A to S-. And I'll explain the reasons why. So basically Tachibana and Inihime go up to the top tier, and it's mostly because they have double 7 combo awakening, because it's arguably the strongest offensive awakening in the game, universally speaking, and having 2 of them allows them to do spectacular amounts of damage. They're found on basically every combo team because they're just that powerful and that efficient. But the thing is, like, they combine a shielding mechanic, which is great for those more fragile teams like Anubis, with a board change that ensures you have lots of combos. So putting the 2 together gives them a great sub potential and flexibility on your teams. Furthermore, if you are using them in their unevolved form as an inherit, they still produce the board that is desirable for those combo teams, but they give +2 combo count at the same time. So they're great in either form, and they can fulfill so many different roles and functions, and that's why they're, I'd say, top tier at this point in time. Facet, Kushinadahime, and Haku are all been demoted down from S+ to S. Maybe they'll go down further, we don't know. But Facet is still a very powerful gemstone burst inherit option. But unfortunately, TPA-oriented teams are definitely on the decline. They're in much shorter supply. And compared to Carrot, who is the most universally powerful gemstone, it's just not going to work out as well because most things don't have TPAs anymore. If you look at Nohime and Inahime and Tachibana, they don't have TPAs. They have 7 combos instead. And that seems to be a trend of a lot of other top tier cards. Not TPAs, but actually 7 combos. And everyone has skill boost to a certain extent. So Carrot is now easily the strongest gemstone princess because it can be used on every single team. It'd be very strange if you had less than 6 skill boosts on a team in this day and age, and it's very easy to assimilate more into your team if you use things like Whaledor, who has 5. So with options like the farmable Whaledor, it's a lot easier to get burst out of Carrot than Facet. Kushinadahime was at one point considered probably the best leader in the game. Maybe I don't know how many months ago that was, but it's because she combined high damage, which she still has, as well as perfect damage control. Now, perfect damage control has declined steadily in terms of value because now we have follow-up attack, we have the box awakening, and we have Fujin style active skills to ignore those absorbs. And with all these tools at our disposal, we don't need to have damage control so much anymore. Yes, it can be cool, but we don't need it because we have ways to just blow right through. And that's obviously taking away one of the stronger points of Kushinadahime because she does have a slightly lower multiplier compared to other spike teams, and the fact that you can't get Skyfalls to help you out is going to definitely hinder your progress. Like I said before, a given board is 7 to 8 combos. You hit those 7 combos consistently. Sure, that's decent damage, but you're losing the chance of getting those Skyfalls for that higher multiplier. So things like Blue Hunter and Anubis are able to hit much higher amounts of damage on a much more consistent basis. And that is definitely a liability in this day and age where it's basically just hit it very hard. We have counters to any form of damage control. We don't need it by comparison. That's why she's dropping down. And Haku also drops down mostly because A, Kushinadahime is on the decline, and B, Dark Athena is on the decline. They're still very powerful, still very strong leaders. They're just not as elite as they were, say, 6 months ago or so. So that's why they're Haku's been brought down because Haku can't be used as efficiently on, say, Blue Hunter teams, Anubis teams. You want more 7 combo awakenings for the most part, so it's just not going to work out as well overall. Nene goes from A to S-, and this is probably because I forgot to bring her back up with the other cards in her pantheon. She does have the capacity to lead a strong and formidable team that is flexible. It can bring Fujin in time to have for Cosmic Trinity farming, which is a big bonus because you have Whale Doors and you can naturally do it quite easily. But she also has a very powerful board changer. If you leave her unevolved, she actually gives you a tri-elemental board of Light, Water, Hearts, and 2 bonus combos. And those 2 bonus combos are huge because any combo team loves more combos, but teams that are mono light and mono water function beautifully with her as an inherit, because Amino, whose name I can't pronounce, would love these extra combos. Yogg teams, why not? I'll take more combos. Like, the idea is she's providing you so much value and also being a strong leader at the same time. That whole pantheon is just the best one at this point, at the moment, to be honest. So, Godfest exclusive Tearless. So basically, this is the current tier list. No changes have been made since the last update from like less than 2 weeks ago, so nothing really has changed, I feel. It just, the chart looks tidier. So basically I just included the changes that I had from last time. Basically, Paimon, Sylvie, and Fenrir Viz go from B to A from last time. I'm just kind of reiterating because it's been such a brief period of time. People may not have read the last Godfest post. And that's mostly because they've gained all these sexier new awakenings like follow-up attack, 7 combos, an extra god killer, so on and so forth. It just makes them more valuable overall. Balden and Aten, because of all their killers and the fact that damage control is not as needed anymore, are more powerful and potent on special farming teams and setups because they have so many killer awakenings that can do amazing amounts of damage. Dark Metatron was demoted from S to A, mostly because she's just not as powerful as a leader as she used to be. She was great upon her release, but we just have easier options available. She still can clear endgame content, but the problem is it takes more management because you need to make sure you're below 80%, and her damage is reasonable still, but again, no Skyfalls, damage control. We don't need damage control so much anymore. And if you're using her as a no Skyfall lead for farming of Liu Bei, we have Raphael as a better pairing because you don't have to worry about health anymore. Basically, Raijin and Gremory go from A to B. Yes, Gremory got a new evolution, but heart crosses are just not a thing anymore, just on the decline. Sharius goes from D to C, mostly because Sharius gains guard break. So yes, their active skill is quite poor, but it synergizes with their guard break, so that makes them a little bit better. And they also have Devil and Healer Killer. 2 weird killers, to be fair. There's very few Devil healers out there, but it's nice to have. So it's really just Light Kali that is in D at the moment, because she's terrible. And last but not least is Canna going from B to C. And this is because Canna was once definitely an S tier card, but has just fallen off because 7 combo is just better in every single way. The strongest cards have 7 combo awakenings, not TPAs, as well as Raw Dragon being on the decline, so Canna's best home is kind of gone. And I feel like she's not even that like as essential for Raw Dragon teams anymore. You probably have better options now, in all honesty. So Canna just has an awkward place. Her active skill is very lackluster. It's one of the worst in my opinion. It does so little for such a long cooldown. And she's just a sad card all around. She's pretty, but maybe her new evolution will give her some viability. Featured Pantheons. Okay, that was fun. There's no featured Pantheons. There's an interesting carnival. So this Godfest does occur alongside the No Silver Carnival, which means you basically have elevated rolling rates because no silvers in their base forms can come out. Yes, you can still roll silvers in their evolved forms, but at least when you take out the base forms, the rolling rate should be significantly higher overall, along with having 33 featured Godfest exclusives, so there are a lot more possibly to hit. So this definitely makes this Godfest a little stronger overall, especially compared to the Halloween one. So putting it all together. Now, everyone has 5 times rates, except for on day 1, Cammy and Raijin is 10 times, and day 2 is Fujin and Yogg. So right away, day 1's 10 times are bad. Cammy's great. Raijin is just bad, to be honest. Like, she's not useful at this point in time. She'd be a box cheerleader, if anything. And then on day 2, Fujin's amazing, of course, and Yogg is great. So day 2 definitely has much better options for their boosted rates. And if we compare day 1 and day 2 is actually the stronger one, in my opinion. You are missing out on Skuld in terms of S tier cards in day 2, but I feel that the justification of 10 times Fujin and 10 times Yogg definitely kind of outweighs the fact that Skuld is not there, and also the fact that Skuld is older. More people may have had her, but again, if we're just assuming no one has anything they want to roll as their very first Godfest. Day 2 is a stronger day overall, in my opinion, because it offers so much value and versatility overall. Lots of follow-up attack options with this Dragon Bounce, has good the Odins are still useful, has great S tiers, but the fact that they're 10 times makes a big difference. So in conclusion, this Godfest is a lot better than the previous one just because we have no silver eggs coming out, so rolling rates should be inflated a bit more. We have more things to touch, basically 33 cards available, so again, it should have higher rates, hopefully. We have plus 30 to each roll, which is important because collateral benefits are nice when you get sad and miss what you actually want. So let me know what you think about this Godfest in the comments below. Do you plan on rolling, and what do you hope to roll from which day you plan to pursue? Hopefully you'll have a fantastic day. I wish you the best of luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.